Okay. So first of all, we're going to write a paragraph, right? In Word. You may already have this paragraph in your business plan if you created the business plan. You can sit there, don't worry. So first of all, we're going to write a paragraph on the day-to-day affairs of your business. And again, this may already be in your business plan. Example, I'm going to have an office in Baltimore with X number of employees. How much are you going to pay them? Benefits. So basically, I want you to write me a paragraph so that way you will let me guess how much your expenses, estimate how much your expenses are going to be, or the line items. Okay, so I'll tell you guys the story behind Dana's cookies right now. Remember almost I came to class on Wednesday. We had like a food life share moment, right? Of which you are. It was delicious. I did a lot of this morning. Um, um, so Dana emailed me on Wednesday, telling me that she was really sick and she woke up from like that. Although she was sick. I promised to remake the cookies for today's class. Just to prove that she did it. So I think that's what this is. Alright? Cool. So thank you for cookies, and I'm gonna pass these around the class. They have caramel? They have caramel if you're allergic to them. Are you allergic to them? Okay. Thank you. Well, I just got um. Okay, so first of all, we're going to write a paragraph of the day-to-day affairs of our business, right? And then in this assignment, we're going to turn in two documents: the Word, the one paragraph in Word, and the Excel document we're going to work on. Is that clear enough? Again, if you did a business plan, it may the Word document may be a copy and paste for you. Nicole, you look confused. Okay. Um. All right, and then we're going to create a detailed business budget that looks like this document right here. Hold on. Oh. Come on. Okay. That looks like this document right here. All right. So I'm going to start one from my own business. Again, this has to be the document for your own business, so nobody's document should look alike. Um. So for me, for example, these are good. Um. Hypothetically, let's say I want to create a business or job search firm. Let's put that out there, right? Okay. So I'm going to have a building, like an office space in Baltimore. I'm probably going to have 5 employees who I pay, let's say $3,000 each month. I need to pay my utilities, right? I need to pay rent, whatever, internet. I also need to have money for like, I'm really kind. I like to buy lunch for my employees every day. I need that item, right? Um, I probably need some advertising, those types of things. So I'm going to start creating my spreadsheets based on what I just told you, and I'm going to kind of change it on the fly. The point is for you guys to see what I'm doing, see how I'm doing my calculations, and please learn how to read these things so you can apply. You can start working on yours as we speak. All right? And the page 52 has instructions of the 2010 book for you to get yours to look exactly like this. So I want it to look exactly like this at the end of the day, so far as the formatting. So you have to go back to page 52 for you to format it correctly. There's a section of the book called let's see, called Ask What If Questions on page 56. Ignore that page completely. Alright? Ignore that page. So this is just you. I just want you to change a couple of numbers and see how that changes your budget. There's also a tab called fees here. Ignore that tab. I just want one tab that looks like this. Cool? Okay. So let's start working. So it looks like let's call it Judy's Jobs. That's like the corniest business name, but 1000 Hilltop Circle. And please, if you are creating your business, create something. Give me a fake address in the city that you want to create your business. All right. Because in Baltimore, I expect the rent to reflect Baltimore prices. If it's in LA, I expect if it's in like Houston, Texas, which is much cheaper, I expect the rent to reflect that. Okay. Again, remember, make this as realistic as possible for your own business. So when you decide to start your business anytime in the future, you can just pick these up and move. Okay. So what can I spell? Catonsville. Alright, so what else does this say? Projected budget May to September 2003. 2013, okay. Okay, so this pans over. I have one column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. Do you guys see that? So I am going to do highlight 1, 2, 3, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to G. Then I'm going to do a merge and a center, which is where. Here we go. I'm going to merge the cells and I'm going to align its center. Is this clear so far? Again, I'm going to keep doing this thing so that way if you don't know how to do this thing, you are going to be able to pick it up. So I'm doing merge and center for each of these 4 titles. Okay. So that's stage 1. What's the next thing that I have to do? First of all, say all the total money that comes in. Or no, have the months. So let's say May, June, July. You can have your dates. Just make it a 6-month space. Let me put that in the slides. So for 6 months. So okay, I will make mine January to June because that's a little easier for me to kind of wrap my head around. So June of 2015. February, March, April, May, June. This is pretty easy so far, right? So now we're going to do all our income. So type income and then hit Control B to make it bold. I'm not going to format mine exactly like the page, but I expect it to look like the picture that I shared, this picture. And the instructions for making it look like this are in the book. As you can see, this is kind of bold, big and bold. This doesn't have any bold on it. This is colored white, and the background picture is the background color is like green. So yeah, we can change this background color just for the sake of kicks. Let's make it dark, and then let's change the text color to white. Ugly, but that's exactly how to make the green happen. Alright? How do I make money? I make money from, let's say, companies, right, that pay me, let's say they pay me fees. I also make money from, like, advertisements. For me, I put ads on my website, alright? How else do I make money? So let's say I charge people money to place them. So let's say placing fees, but I also get money from the companies. Let's say company. This is not going. Yours is not going to look like this. Yours is going to look like your business. And again, I haven't created a business, so I'm kind of making this on the fly. This should be a lot easier for you because you should have worked on this extensively in the first month of this class. How else do I make money? I don't have grants or donations. People don't like me like that. So now I'm going to say total income. And I'm just going to make this bold. And I'm going to do my expenses. How much do I spend? I pay rent. I pay electric. I pay internet. I buy lunch for employees. I pay for advertisements on newspaper. Newspaper ads. What else do I pay for? Come on, help me out, guys. Help me out, guys. What else do I pay for? Supplies. There we go. Supplies. If you have an office, you have to have supplies. All right. Well, let's say I have to save for maintenance because things break down. I have to have computers and stuff, right? Do you think that's an initial budget item or that's like an ongoing monthly budget? Huh? Okay, so let's say I have like computers and equipment. And then finally I pay for salaries. Alright? Maybe I give my employees medical insurance. So employee medical insurance. Then I'm gonna say total expenses. Are you guys with me? So let's say I'm like anybody that wants to anyone that wants to work with my agency has to pay me like 10% of their salary for the first year. Has to pay me 10% of their salary for the first year. So let's say I get them a job that pays them $80,000, that pays me $8,000, right? So that's the bulk of where my money comes from. So let's say every month I make, because I'm balling like that, right? I make like $30,000 from there every month. My website brings me ads money from 4,450. Companies pay me $10,000 for each employee that I match. Let's say I match if I match 10 employees every month, or 20 because I'm balling right at, right? 20 times 10,000. That's 200,000, right? Does this sound good? Yes? Okay. How do I calculate my total income? Can somebody help me, please? How do I calculate my total income? Huh? Tell me the formula I need to use. Go ahead, Dana. Mm-hmm. Sum. Okay. What else do I do? So, this one, right? And I can just drag it down. It's either you drag it down to look like a range, or you select them one by one. Close the parentheses and enter. Is that clear? Has anyone lost so far? Please, hands. Okay. Do I make the same amount of money every month? I don't, right? When is my busy season? When do people usually look for jobs? Right after they graduate from college, right? Which is when? May. So I'm gonna make a lot of money in June, right? But let's say in January, people also graduated in December, right? So I make money in December as well, but the bulk of my cash comes out in May. In February, guess what? My income starts to drop in February. Does that make sense? So, assuming in February, instead of placing 10 employees, or instead of placing 20, I placed 20, right? That's three. So so this is saying at this rate, that means each employee pays me 1,500 per match. So, instead of placing 20 employees, let's say I only placed 10 in February. Or let's say it's dwindling down, so let's say 15. Equal to 1,500 times 15 people. Do you guys see how I got that? Here I made the assumption that I'm going to place 20 employees, which is 1,500 times 20 people. Alright? Is this cool? Same thing here, I'm just going to change this to a formula. 10,000 times 20. And see what happens. Nothing happens because I didn't put the equal to sign in front. So once I put the equal to sign, that takes care of it and calculates it for me. Alright? Okay. So my ads revenue from my website stays constant. So if I want a number to stay constant, how do I put it in? For example, if I say equal to this, right? That's gonna put it in. Well, the second I drag that, well, I guess it's keeping it constant. My point of that is, if you want to make sure that the number stays constant, right? That no matter what you drag it to, it doesn't change the number. Excel doesn't automatically try to like intuitively increase or decrease it. You have to, in the formula, press F4. When I press F4, do you see what happened? The dollar sign appeared before the B and before the 9. That dollar sign will keep it constant. You can also type the dollar sign by yourself, but the easiest way to do it is just to type F4 if you have a Windows computer. I don't know what the Mac does. If you have a Mac, you don't have F4, just type the dollar signs before the B and the 9. Hi, Nusrat. Hmm? We have cookies in front. Hmm? Okay. So enter. So now I'm going, since my ad revenue for my website stays constant, I'm just going to drag this across till June. That keeps that constant, right? My income, I want to calculate it for the same way each time. Drag it across. You guys see that? This is already calculating how much I'm making every single month. Here, I only place 15 employees, so it's going to be equal to 15 times what? 10,000, right? Okay. Here, I place 10 employees, so this is 10 times 1,500. Again, I'm just making up these numbers for my own business. It's going to vary for your own business. In June is my big month. I placed 30 employees, equal to what? 1,500 times 30. Right? So same thing here. I'm just going to drag this across. Never mind, actually I take that back. Here I'm only placing 10 employees, so it's 10,000 times 10 people. Again, all these is like basic Excel stuff, but these are skills that you guys have to know to be able to do some of these assignments that I'm giving you. So so a lot of you guys, this is going to be super simple, but I promise you that it's not for everyone in this class, based on what I have seen. Is anyone confused so far? Please, hands. Is this going clear for your own business, so far as how I'm building this? These entries are not going to be the same. I'm repeating that for your own business. This is for Judith's business. For your business, you may not even have rent, or you may only make money from, selling. If you have a music business, from like selling CDs, it's going to be different. So make sure you customize this for your business. For here, I did 30 people, so it's 10,000 times 30. So now I have all my income. Right? What does the page say? So here it says format it as money. You see how all these things are formatted as dollars, right? How do you do that? You click on each one, or you can click on everything, highlight everything if you want, and click this dollar sign. Do you guys see that? And you see it automatically formatted as dollars. Cool? Okay. I assume that silence means that you guys are working. Okay. Now it says that for here, you see this line up here is a single line up here, under is a double line. How do you do that? You're going to highlight this place. You see here that you have these borders right here, up here. You're going to make this a top border, and that put the border there. And click on it again because you want to put the bottom border. Bottom double border, that's what you want. And that's why it looks like that. Okay. So, I highlighted the row that I wanted to do it on. I hit the border right here. Hit top border. And you see these things. Here, this is like under the cell. This is above the cell. This is to the side of the cell. So use this like guides here to kind of help you decide where you want to put your borders. The first one I did was a top border. We put this line up here. So I did the exact same thing. I just went down to this place that says bottom double border. And that put the double line under there. Good? Mm-hmm. Alright, so now I'm going to do my expenses, right? I live in Baltimore. For an office space, how much do I need to pay? Someone threw out a number. $2,000. What about my electric bill? I'm a business though. I have computers running all day. Maybe it's $300. Realistically. What about internet? Comcast business internet for a business of around 10 people. Let's have 10 employees. Okay, so $160. I pay for lunch for my employees every single day. How much is lunch? How much is my average price per lunch? For 10 people. So we'll do, yeah. So first of all, how much is each plate of food? Not in Baltimore. So let's say no, I can't be kidding me. I'm not born like that. So 750, right? Times how many employees? 10 of them. Times how many days a week? 5 days a week. Times how many weeks in a month? I spent $1,500. But this is like, oh yeah, you're on your own. Okay. How much do I pay for newspaper ads, and they're extremely expensive every month? No, that's not. I mean, like really expensive. No, no, we're talking the thousands. Yes. So let's say 1,500. What about supplies? Things like paper towels, pens, paper, printing ink, all these things. Easily, sure. What about maintenance? My electric went out. My own to save for the plumber. The toilet doesn't work. 1,000? I have to budget for it every month, right? What about my computers? Each employee has to have like a fancy Mac, whatever, right? Whatever people have nowadays. We have to have printers. We have to have like those giant printers, not like the baby ones, because I don't really like that, right? The big ones. How much? So how much do I know it's an initial expense, but I need to keep money, set aside money every month for these things.
So do you want the first expense to be the initial expense and the rest of the month be?
No, assuming I already made the initial expense.
Alright, so like 3,500.
Maybe 3,500, right? If somebody's computer breaks down, the printer doesn't work. Well, what about how much do I pay each employee a month? Do I pay them is $3,000 a good amount of money to pay employees? Huh? 4,000. In Baltimore, that's how much you kind of need to survive, right? So I pay employees, and look at this formula because $4,000 times how many employees? 10 of them. How much do I make? I have to pay myself, right? Plus, how much is my salary since I'm like the CEO? There you go. 10,000. Okay. So each month I pay 50,000 in salaries. What about my employees' medical insurance? How much do you guys pay in medical insurance every month? Huh? Yeah. So let's say I pay $200 per employee for like medical and dental. Huh? That's cheap. So tell me how much does the medical insurance cost? So let's say 400 times 11 employees, myself included, right? Because that 400 is just it's inclusive in case some people have families. Because you have to pay for their husbands and their children or whatever, right? Okay. So I have other benefits. I have like 401k and pension. You have to do all these things for employees. They have to have something to retire on. So 401k plus pension. And again, so I'm just helping you kind of think through. This is the process that you will think through when you're doing yours for your business. Alright? 401k plus pension. Let's say per employee I pay an additional, let's say $300 times 11 employees. Okay. So that's how much those are my expenses for the month. Now I'm going to do the total. How do I do the total? Somebody help me again. I can, the what button? This, this one?
No, it's like right next to where you can type. It's the X check mark and then there's the X.
This one?
One over that.
Oh.
Six songs and higher.
Okay, so B14 to B24. And you can pretty much select it. Does everyone understand what he just did? Does anyone not understand what he just made me do? Okay? So you click on the cell you want. Up here, click on FX. No, I'm gonna delete this so it's gonna do it from scratch. FX is like a way of saying function of, if you remember, it's like high school math, calculus, right? Well, this is like function. So you click on the cell, hit FX. It's gonna automatically put equal to and bring like a what do you call it, like a window that you can select the formula that you want. Double click on sum or hit sum and then OK. And then it's gonna try to guess what you want. So now we guess correctly, B14 to B24. Right? Sometimes it doesn't guess correctly. If it doesn't guess correctly, you can drag it yourself. But this is what you want right here. Okay? And then hit OK. This is clear, right? Good. Alright, so my rent expenses, did I say constant each month? So, I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to drag this. Did it stay constant? It stayed constant, so that way you can drag everything down to month 6. The formula stays the same, you can drag it across. Is this clear so far? Go ahead, Nicole.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing I did to this part. Format it like this. This single line up top, double line below. Highlight everything. Do here, top border, and then do bottom double border. You guys see that, right? What's the next thing? Profit/loss in dollars, right? How much are you making minus how much you're spending? Okay. So profit/loss. This is just saying how much am I making minus how much am I spending? Is this clear? Oh, we forgot to format this as money, so let's format this as dollars. Okay. So this is equal to, so how do I calculate my income minus my expenses? Somebody help me. Okay. How do I just type it or do I click on the cell? Okay. So B11 minus what? Whatever this is, right? So that's how much I made in the month. Equal to this cell right here minus this cell right here. Enter. Alright, and now we're going to drag it across everything so that way you can see how much I'm making. You see in January I'm making money, a lot of money. February I'm making some more money. In March and April you're not really making that much, but June is your big month. You guys see that? How did they format it here? They had the double line and they made everything bold. So that's what we're going to do. Select this. You want the bottom border and you want it to be bold. So yeah, so mine doesn't look exactly 100% like this. Well, that's the gist of it. They have this spark line down here. Which we can actually try to do the spark line. So let's see. Let's see, growth. Let's see, insert. Spark line. Where are you? Okay. You guys totally missed that, right? Okay, so a spark line is something that you do when you want to, let me control Z out of this, so that way, okay. So you want to kind of see on, like on this one cell, like your range, how you're doing, in a visual. It's kind of like using a chart. So anyway, I want to see how my profit and loss kind of growing and falling every single month, in a very simple way, like the way they did it here. You see here, like they said, 53, 60, 60, 109, 109, 392. So do you see how you see it's kind of 53, then this is slightly higher, then now it's all the way up top here at 392. That's exactly what we're going to do, but for our own budget. So I'm going to say, insert, I'm going to go to line up here. Then it's going to say choose your data range. What data range do you want to plot out? I'm just going to highlight all these ones because these are the ones that I want to plot out, right? And up here it's going to say put it, where do you want to put it? It's already there, so don't need to change that. Okay. And now you see how I can just visually see in one cell how my income is rising and how when it's high and when it's low. Does anybody have any questions? I'm sorry?
That's all we have to do.
Yeah, that's all you have to do for the assignment, including the one paragraph. There's this one paragraph in Word that describe to me what your business is. Example, right? An example of that paragraph would be, my name is Judy's Jobs. I have 10 employees. Each employee makes approximately $3,000 every month, right? So tell me your business. I rent a place from Baltimore, downtown Baltimore, that cost me $3,000 to rent. For each employee that I place, they pay me approximately $1,500. For each company that I place an employee at, they pay me $10,000. So pretty much describe to me your business. So that way from there I can guess what your expenses are going to be. Does that make sense? Yes, Apratim. It's going to be what does 16 say? What's the next one? So do under the business budget. Yeah. It's due next week Monday.
So you want an Excel document or a Word document?
I want the Excel document that looks exactly like the one in the book. Go through the book. Go through the instructions, right? And make sure that it looks exactly like this.
And then you want a Word document.
And I want a Word document with the paragraph. On Wednesday, we're going to have a completely different assignment. But again, some of these things seem very basic, but my intention in this week or two is to go through a lot of this Excel skills. We're going to do charts in the next class. I actually teach you guys how to do this thing, because I always assumed from 101 that you guys already knew how to do these things, but I don't think that's 100% true. Cool? Okay, so let's see, write a paragraph description. Come on up here. Write a paragraph description of your day-to-day activities in your business. Submit this paragraph as a Word document. Create a detailed business budget for 6 months using the outline of page 52 on your own expenses. Skip the ask what question section is not necessary. That's just saying, what if my thing changes to it? What if my expenses, or what if I spend this on lunch? How is this going to change? Well, use as many formulas as possible. I hate static numbers. Alright? Use as many formulas as possible. If you are paying 10 employees, do each salary times 10 instead of putting $40,000 total for salaries. Alright? I'm going to talk about next Monday. So it's pretty easy. If you come to class, you can finish it in class if you know exactly what you're doing. If you're confused, you need to go back home and you need to get those skills really stronger. Yes, Alex.
Like we have a paragraph from the business, if we copy that,
Yes.
look at that paragraph and start with the expenses.
Yes. Copy and paste that all the time. So for those of you who did the business plan, I really like reading a part of what in the paragraph. This is the business plan for yourself. Questions? Do you guys think this is helpful or you think it's a waste of time? Doing things like this.
That was really helpful.
Helpful? Okay. Alright, so we'll do this for Wednesday class and for the other edits itself. Assignment next week and we'll tell I think we're going after. If you're done, you can leave. I'll be here. If you guys need help. So should I post the video?
Yeah.
Okay.